Well, that was one of the ugliest wins that I can remember as of recent. Storm and Norman, Marc Gasol came through in the clutch, and we were able to end that 3-game skid that we had and come out with a W. This is the Airborne Podcast. I'm your host, Ajith, and I'm not really proud of this win, to be honest. I mean, we got the W, so it counts, but we still have a lot of stuff to work on. Turnovers, offensive rebounding was a little better than usual. Pascal Siakam, even though he scored in the 20s, it didn't feel like he did. Only bright spot was Norman Powell came through in the fourth quarter after being inserted into the starting lineup with Fred VanVleet, out with the knee injury. Kyle Lowry was pretty horrible from the field. Marc Gasol didn't shoot well at all. I mean, it seems like he forgot how to shoot in the paint. But defensively, he came in clutch. He got some big boards in the fourth quarter. And against the Chicago Bulls, we can do this, where we could slack off for 3.5 quarters, and then in the last 6 minutes, we're able to turn on the switch and still come out with the W. But we learned the hard way that if we play good teams, that's not going to happen. We're always going to lose. That's what happened in Miami. That's what happened against Miami. That's what happened against Philly. And, you could just tell, we need to fix what we're doing. And that starts off with us having a healthy team. I mean, every time one guy comes back, another guy gets injured. And we need to figure it out. And we have a lot of holes in our game to fill. But it's still a learning process, still a learning curve. And Nick Nurse and the staff just have to figure it out. I'm going to break down the stats. There isn't really much to look at because this game was pretty low scoring. And the field goal percentages were horrible individually and I think overall as a team. I'm going to start with the Chicago Bulls. Levine, 34 minutes, 20 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 6 of 18 from the field, 3 of 10 from the three-point line, 5 of 7 from the free throw line, and he had a block and a steal. Thomas Satoransky, 38 minutes, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 of 8 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three-point line, no free throws, 0 blocks, 2 steals. Lauri Markkanen, 33 minutes, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of 14 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, and 1 steal. Wendell Carter Jr., 25 minutes, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 8 from the field, 4 of 5 from the free throw line with the steal. Chris Dunn, 15 minutes, didn't do much, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 of 8 from the field, and he was 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Kobe White, he's the rookie from this year's draft, but didn't do anything in 30 minutes with 0 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 0 of 7 from the field, and 0 of 5 from the three-point line. Denzel Valentine. Now, that man, there was a point in the game where he irked me, where he was like, this is what I do. No, you've been on the bench. I haven't seen you play since you've been drafted, bro. Stop hyping. And you end up losing the game, too, so, don't even. You haven't even sniffed the playoffs, haven't been anywhere near being relevant as a team. So don't hype up after one game when you all of a sudden start playing well for the first time. But in 23 minutes, he had 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 11 from the field, 3 of 9 from the three-point line. He did have a positive impact on the team, but it was just the way, it wasn't a playoff game. It was a regular season game. Why are you wiling? Oh, man. And that was pretty much it, I think. Well, I mean, there was another guy, another power forward on their team. His name's Gafford. He had 14 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 7 of 9 from the field in 20 minutes. And Thaddeus Young, he had 19 minutes, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 of 3 from the field, and 1 of 2 from the three-point line. The Raptors side, Pascal Siakam. In 39 minutes, he had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. 7 of 18 from the field, wasn't efficient. 2 of 6 from 3, and 6 of 8 from the free throw line. He did miss a few bunnies there, and I don't know what's up with them, to be honest, but he's missing those easy baskets. Like, I'm noticing, like, the ones that he was making in the beginning of the season, like the first 20 games of the season, he's starting to miss those now. I don't know if his confidence is fading or if he's just hitting some sort of wall, but like, he needs to work on his game a little bit more, and he needs to figure out what to do in certain situations and be more decisive on the offensive end, because you see him thinking too much. Like, he's hesitating to shoot some threes. Sometimes he's like trying to drive it in, but then he's throwing it back out and turning the ball over. And he, like Nick Nurse was saying it earlier, he's like, everyone relax. This is a championship team now, so there's high expectations, and people don't like seeing the team lose. And so when little things go wrong and we go on these 2-3 game skids, where we're losing like 2-3 games in a row, everyone starts panicking, and everyone's looking at Pascal because he was the one that was hyped up coming into the season, being our number one option, and now seeing him kind of go down a bit, come back to reality a little bit. People are like, maybe he's not the guy that everyone thought. But let's pump the brakes for a second, because Pascal Siakam, if anyone doesn't know, he's only been playing basketball for like maybe 9-10 years. He started playing basketball when he was 16, and he worked through Masai's camp. Luka Bahamute was one of the guys that are running a camp where he started playing basketball for the first time. So like, he's on that same level like Joel Embiid, where he hasn't played ball for a long time. And you see his ascension in the last 3 years. Like, from when we drafted him to now, he's made drastic jumps. So just give him a little bit of time. In another 2-3 years, he's definitely going to be up there in that superstardom status. Best case scenario. Worst case, an all-star, a perennial all-star for years and years to come. But he's got the game, he's got the motor, he's got the heart. So let's not panic, all right? Kyle Lowry, 39 minutes, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 of 15 from the field. My God. 1 of 8 from the three-point line, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, and 1 block. I'm saying my God because I have him on my fantasy, and it's the first day, and he messed up my field goal percentage. OG Anunoby had moments in this game. He's looking like the bright spot on this team. He's looking like the Pascal Siakam from last season, and he's doing work. He's getting on people on the defensive end. He's getting steals in crucial moments, and he's going on fast breaks and dunking the ball. He had a few easy bunnies where he missed today. Can you get upset about it? Yes, but you live and you learn, and he's not going to make everything, but he's getting better every day. Like, you see him, he's active on the rebounding side. He's active on the defensive end when it comes to steals and blocks, and I like the progress. I like what I'm seeing in his third year. Norman Powell, Stormin' Norman, coming through in the clutch in the fourth quarter with big buckets, just like he did in the Orlando Magic game. And in 29 minutes in the starting role, he had 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 of 16 from the field, 1 of 6 from the three-point line, and 2 of 4 from the free throw line. That's another thing. We shot horrible from the free throw line today. I don't know what went wrong with everyone shooting at the line, but it was bad. And we're a really good free throw shooting team. But Norman Powell, though, got to give him credit where it's due. Whenever he's in the starting role, he comes up big, and he's not shying away from the big moments and going for those big buckets. He has like those moments where he loses his mind and he tries to do too much, but he's proving that he can play in the fourth quarter in important minutes and come up with big plays. So kudos to him. Marc Gasol, typical game for him. In 29 minutes, he had 9 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 of 7 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, and he had 4 blocks, 2 steals. Productive, very productive on the defensive end. You saw it throughout the game. He was using his principle of verticality, where he was just going straight up and contesting shots. He had crucial blocks in important minutes where we needed a stop. And, this is what we're going to see on a night-to-night basis from him. He's played a lot. He has a lot of miles on his body. I've already mentioned this before, where he's coming off a summer. For the first time, probably the longest he's ever played basketball in a certain span of time, where he's gone on a finals run, won a championship, and then went over to Europe and won a FIBA championship. And he's not, his offense isn't coming in. He's having moments where he has his offense clicking, but he's not usually looking for it. He's more of a facilitator. But the problem with that is, you notice it today at certain times where, like, the lane was getting clogged up because they knew, I'm talking about the Chicago Bulls. Like, they knew he wasn't going to shoot the ball and he was looking to pass. So, like, they were clogging the paint so no one else could drive. If he were to take those open shots and make them, or at least make a few, then that makes the defense think a little, and they'll try to run out to him to try and contest a shot, and then he could pump fake it, whatever he wants, pass the ball to a guy cutting, and we'll get an open dunk, an open layup. That's just how it works. But they need to work on that. Some days he's just not, he's shooting better from the 3-point line than he is the 2-point line, which is crazy to see, but like it's mind-boggling, because he went from a guy that couldn't be stopped in the post to a guy who can't make a bucket now for his life. And hopefully that changes, because we need a lot more scoring for him. Not a lot more, but at least 10 to 15 points. If he can be that kind of threat on the floor, then we'll be a way better team, clearly. Because you see how we do when he is scoring. That Utah game is the best example. He came out, scored 11 in that first quarter. That opened up the whole floor for the whole team. And what happened in the half? We blew out that team by 40. Ended up winning by like 20 points. But still, if he's aggressive, then everything opens up. And that's what I'm trying to say. All in all, this game was horrible. Very frustrating to watch. Like the other games that we just had, the last 3 games. We'll take this as a W, but it feels like an L, because it's the Chicago Bulls. And I'm going to say this time and time again. We need to get our stuff together. There's no way that we can continue to win games if we play like this. And a big part of us even having trouble today, even though we shouldn't have, Fred VanVleet is a guy that makes those big shots and opens up the game for us. And he wasn't there on the floor tonight. So that's about 20 points that wasn't there for us. But other guys have to step up, and they did. And they did what they had to do to somewhat grind out a game tonight and win. So I'm proud of the boys. Finally end the losing streak, because we were going down in the standings. You see Milwaukee going crazy with their 14-15 game winning streak now. And Boston's up there, Miami, us, Philly. They just beat us the other night. So we're in 5th place right now. And our record is 16-7. And we're right in front of Indiana, which is only a couple games behind us. But they lost today to the Clippers. And then now we're waiting on the Clippers on Wednesday. They're going to come to town. Kawhi Leonard's going to get his ring. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section, if you're excited to see how he's going to react when he gets that big piece of jewelry. He was sitting out today in load management for that Pacers game. So a lot of people are skeptical or thinking he might sit out, but I don't think he has the balls to sit out. Definitely don't think he has the cojones, because he's going to get a lot of backlash for that. And I don't think he wants to sit out. Why would he want to sit out for a game where he's going to get, applauded? Everyone's going to be cheering for him the whole night. No one's going to hate the fact that he left. Are they going to be sad? Yes, of course. Everyone misses him. They know how good we could have been. We would have been one of the favorites. We would have been the favorite going into the season if he stayed with us. But, that's done. What's done is done. I just want to see him get his ring. I want to see the tribute video. I want to see how everyone reacts. I want to see the Clippers bench react to that. I want to see their reaction, basically, when that whole crowd goes crazy for Kawhi, because they've never been in that kind of atmosphere with us. And the closest they've ever been to something like that is probably with Golden State, because I think our fan base and Golden State's fan base is probably the best in the NBA. And I'm not talking about them. I'm not talking about Golden State and San Francisco right now. I'm talking about their Oakland fan base. But I'm ecstatic for that game. Clippers Wednesday night. Leonard's championship ring is getting delivered. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this podcast and if you're ready to see Leonard receive that ring. Thanks. I'm so excited I can't even speak English right now. Thank you for tuning in and listening to my podcast. Subscribe to the channel if you mess with me, if you enjoy my content, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday night for the post-game podcast. Till then, stay blessed, stay woke, and peace!